and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little lavender filled heart-shaped pouches which you can either hang in your wardrobe to keep your wardrobe smelling fresh or in your car if you prefer. They're easy to make, but you will need a pair of pinking shears and possibly a glue stick, but that is optional. So let's get started. For this project you will need some small scraps of fabric. I'm using some leftover 4-inch squares. You will need 4 in total, 2 of one colour and 2 of a contrasting colour. A 2-inch heart-shaped template. It actually measures 2.5 inches because it has a 1/4 inch seam allowance. A small amount of lavender, a friction pen or any pen or pencil that can be rubbed off later, a pair of pinking shears, a couple of pins and a needle and thread. First, pair up your pieces of fabric with right sides spacing out. Then take your template and place it in the centre of your fabric and draw all the way around the edge of your heart. Then repeat this on the second 2 pieces of fabric. You only need to draw on one side of the fabric. Mark a 1-inch opening on one of the sides of your heart, making sure to do it on the straightest side that you can. This is where you're going to be stuffing your heart with your lavender later. Pin the 2 sides of your heart together before you start sewing. Then at your sewing machine, sew very carefully around your heart shape, starting at one of the marks you made for the opening and finishing at the other. Shorten the length of your stitch. I normally sew on number 3 on mine and I changed it to 2, so it's quite a small stitch. This makes it easier to go around the corners. Remember to back tack at the start and the finish to make sure your stitching doesn't come undone when you fill your heart with lavender. Sew very slowly, turning your fabric as you go, making sure you stick to the line so your stitching actually goes on the lines that you have drawn. When you get to the points at the top and the bottom, you'll need to finish with your needle down, lift your presser foot, turn and lower your presser foot and then carry on stitching. Repeat this process with your second heart. Trim off any loose threads on the front and the back of both your pieces. Now take your pinking shears and very carefully cut around your stitching, being very careful not to catch any of your stitches. So cut just to the side of your stitching. If you've used a friction pen, you'll need to iron with a hot iron to remove the lines that you've drawn. Next, take your lavender and fill your heart about 3/4 full. So find the opening first. You might need to stick something in between the 2 pieces of fabric to open it up. If you have a funnel, you could use a funnel to fill with lavender, but I'm just using my fingers and it seems to be going in fine. Yeah, you need to push it down every so often and keep going until it's 3/4 of the way full. When it's 3/4 of the way full, pin together. Pin both sides together, matching your zigzags. Repeat this process with your second heart. Now you're ready to sew the opening closed. So very carefully place your sewing machine and again back tack at the start and back tack at the finish using your small stitch. and remove your pin so you don't sew over it. Trim off any loose ends. A smaller pair of scissors would have been better for this. Then do exactly the same with your second heart. Cut a piece of ribbon 12 inches long. Next, attach your ribbon to your hearts. You can either pin your ribbon in place, or as I have done, you can use a small blob of glue just to hold it in place. Make sure you leave a tail end of about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Next, sew on a button. You need 4 buttons in total because you want one on the front and one on the back of each of your hearts. Thread your needle and tie a knot, and then do a couple of stitches just to hold that ribbon in place, and we're going to hide the knot there behind our button. Then add a button to the front and then place your other button at the back and sew through that too, holding them both in place. When you've done enough stitches to secure your buttons in place, on the last stitch, come up in between the 2 buttons. This is where we're going to finish off. It's a little bit tricky, but push your needle up between the 2 buttons. This is so that we can finish off without seeing the knot. So there we are, between the 2 buttons. Now wrap your thread around the button, forming a loop all the way around, and then thread your needle through the loop once or twice, pull tight, and then repeat this process. So thread around your button and then come up through the loop a couple of times and then pull tight, and that's you finished off. Cut off the thread and that's your first one done. Repeat this process for the second one. And here's another pair I made. You'll notice I've actually put a little bow on these ones. Easy to do, just glue your bow on when you glue your ribbon on and sew through. That's it all finished. You can either hang it in your wardrobe or hang it over your rear view mirror in your car. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't already, could you like and subscribe? Thank you, and I'll see you next time.